Lesser beings cherish the honor to be consumed by me. Die! The tentacles grew still for a second before they impaled all of the cultivators high in the sky and made their way to the city. At that moment, 𝐒𝐲𝐿 finally flitted over the edge off of the peninsula and towards the water below. Her heart was beating so fast she was sure it would explode. She crashed into the water. Adapting to aquatic escape mode, mimicking the most efficient form for this environment, the wingsuit reassembled itself around her. The tough and spiky edges retracted to a smooth surface where water would not come in as she resurfaced. Oxygen was pulled inside of the two vacuums on her side. The form lengthened and resembled a sleek teardrop shape. The materials in front of her head grew pointed, and further behind her legs a fish-like tail was formed. Above her body rose a blue-black dorsal fin. The suit changed color as its form resembled a marlin. The form punched through the water as the body undulated in the sea. Its powerful tail went back and forth incredibly fast. She looked back again and saw tens of thousands of others dive off the cliff. Hundreds flew up into the sky. Resistance or fighting was impossible, so they tried to escape. Tentacles followed behind each of them. She even saw one coming directly for her, who was way ahead of many. She dived further and pushed as much of her energy as possible into her suit to maximize its full output as her speed tripled. Yet even as she increased her speed more and more, she could still feel the tentacle locked onto her, rapidly following behind her. Those that tried to escape by flying were swiftly taken out by the tentacles in the air. They were quickly punctured through. Those were the ones with weak cultivations, whereas those stronger and with much faster flying speed barely escaped into the horizon, carrying one or two loved ones or their disciples. Others that tried to swim like her seemed to have had better odds in the water, but ultimately the drag of the water slowed them down, where the tentacle finally caught up and grabbed them. As she swam, she saw as if all the fish and sea life in the ocean, just millions of them, were frantically escaping in the same direction as her as she passed them. The roaring of the water couldn't drown out their frantic sounds, or even of the people as they screamed in panic. She utilized her full cultivation, pushing to her absolute limits, swam around those in front of her. She even weaved between massive fish in the area that were trying their hardest to escape the horde of tentacles. Predators and prey alike fled, ignoring instincts as they fled a threat much bigger than the fears written into their blood by their ancestors. They all fled like one, an unending tide. 𝐒𝐿 saw her vision self looking from side to side, confused as to what she was looking for in such a dire moment when all she needed to do was flee as fast as possible. She jerked her head in the direction of a speeding blur, rampaging and smashing aside all the fish and people as it propelled through everything. Its speed was incredible as it cleaved through the water. It was the ancient corpse shark, the deadliest and most feared creature on these shores. Only blood followed as it rampaged through all things in its way. 𝐒𝐿's eyes shined as she moved towards it. A vicious hook was being formed on the side of the suit. She understood immediately what her plan was. Her future self planned to attach herself to the shark and escape with it. 𝐒𝐿 swam between both large and small creatures as she made its way to the area it would soon pass through, and was ready. As it came up below her, she shot the hook towards its rotting dorsal fin, before it immediately caught on, and immediately pulled her along. Spikes formed on her underside as the insane water resistance pushed her against its body. The hooks sunk in, and the marlin form immediately flattened out and sunk more and more hooks into its body to secure itself to its body. Her surroundings, blurred by the speed of this corpse shark, was truly unbelievable as it fled in distress, using all of its fearsome might to get away from the monstrous existence back at the town, reaping all the lives of all living beings. Sunny chance of escape, 90%. 𝐒𝐿 responded, "I think we will finally be able to get away." Sasquatch interrupted, "Just to let you know, we have company. Apparently the past version of yourself witnessed all of this as a vision." 𝐒𝐿 started to feel the vision begin to weaken and grow light. She quickly shouted, "Ask her about the microchip. Have Sunny give me the data to make it. The vision is ending."